We get some new news about Ableton Live 10. The PT01 Scratch gets a really cool new mod. And one of my favorite analog synths gets an upgrade. Find out more coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video. A little while back, Ableton announced Ableton Live 10, but we didn't really get any dates around the public beta or even the release date of when Ableton would come out. But recently, Ableton just announced the open beta for Ableton Live 10. All you need to join this open beta is a registered version of Ableton Live 9 Suite or the standard version. If you have an older version like Ableton Live 8 or previous, or the intro version of Ableton Live 9, unfortunately you won't be able to join this public beta, but this does give you a really good reason to upgrade and eventually upgrade to Ableton Live 10. Now, I've covered some of the features already in Ableton Live 10, but one cool thing included in this beta is the brand new version of Max. So you now get the newest version of Max for Live included in this. Now, there haven't been too many details around what changes have gone on with Max, but I'm sure that when the Ableton Live 10 actual release happens, we'll get a full breakdown of what they've included for Max for Live in this new version as well. A recent video popped up from the guys at Open Format LA. Now they have just installed the Denon DS1 Serato DJ interface directly into the Numark PT01 Scratch. Now what this means is, just with the PT01 Scratch by itself, you can now run Serato DJ, which is really cool. So all you would need to have the Serato DJ set up is a PT01 Scratch, a piece of DVS vinyl, and your laptop. And what's also cool about this is that they also showcase the ability to hook up another PT01 Scratch and actually run 2 decks out of this one unit, which is awesome in my opinion. Now, they haven't announced if they're gonna have this for sale on the website, and if so, when it's gonna drop. But knowing the guys at Open Format, I'm sure they'll offer this in the future. I'm really curious to see how much this costs, as the Denon DS1 interface is already $300 by itself. But if you're really into portablism and you want that portable Serato on the go, you know, the price of that DS1 is pretty much the same price as you would pay for the Akai Serato DJ mixer. But that one allows a little bit more flexibility because it does have inputs and outputs, as well as volume faders and EQ control. But the ability to have an all-in-one unit with Serato DJ built in, and all you need to do is run your computer directly to it, is an awesome thing. And it just goes to show you how far along this portablism movement has gone, and in this brand new year, how much further it's probably gonna go in this next 12 months. Now, I'm a big fan of Arturia's analog synths, from their monstrous giant Matrix Brute all the way down to the Micro Brute. But in the middle was the original MiniBrute, and now the MiniBrute has finally received an update. They have just announced the MiniBrute 2, and my God, this thing looks awesome. It maintains a lot of that Brute DNA, but adds a bunch of new features as well. And the biggest standout feature definitely has to be that giant patch bay on the side of the synth. Now, if you've ever worked in a studio or with older analog gear, or maybe even some modular synths, then you know how a patch bay works. But basically, you can route the different features of the MiniBrute 2 to other different features in the MiniBrute 2 as well. So you can change the signal flow and create some really custom and really individual and unique sounds that probably no one else will come up with, because those different combinations in the actual patch bay, along with how you tweak all those on the actual synth itself, you know, there's so many different combinations, and if you're really looking for some really interesting sounds and sounds that only you will have, this is definitely one way to get them. Now, another feature that they've added to this is another big one in my opinion, is that they now have full-size keys on this thing and with aftertouch. The key bed on this new synth comes directly from its bigger brother, the Matrix Brute. So it's really cool to see some bigger keys, especially someone with me that has a little bit of trouble with smaller keys. Having a full-size key bed on this thing makes this thing even better. And with the price of $650, this synth is a killer in my opinion. You get some really great features, some really unique features that you don't see in synths in this price range. And if you've ever used any of the Brute synths in the past, you know you'll get that unique sound that only these Arturia synths have, and some banging sounds, especially for bass lines or leads. So if you're in the market for a new analog synth, you should definitely check this out. It should be out towards the end of February. So that's it for the news this week. So question of the day: what advancements in the portablism movement would you like to see? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel, Or if you'd like to watch more content, go and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.